everybody. This is not actually in the speech, but didn't she look gorgeous? We are here today to celebrate the marriage of Becca and Chris. Let us remember the grandparents and family who are no longer with us. Let us recall how dearly we love them and they loved us. We know you are by our sides today and have been very proud of Becca and Chris on their special day. Becca introduced me to Chris as a young budding photographer, thinking it might score brownie points. It did impress me over the years. Hopefully he will be as good as me one day. Julie and myself are very happy to welcome Chris into the family. It is very clear to everyone here today how happy you make Rebecca. Becca is a wonderful daughter and I want to thank her for all the joy she has given me over the past 30 years, and not forgetting the day she had one of her childhood strops and fell out with me and insisted that my pie did not sit in the oven next to her pie when cooking. All is forgiven, Becca. Myself and Becca often had a joke between us over the years about when will she be coming back home to live. Well, I finally accepted defeat today, knowing she has married the man to look after her on my behalf. Or is it Becca who will be wearing the trousers? I would like you to stand and raise your glasses to the bride and groom.
Maybe we are supposed to meet the wrong people before we meet the right one, so that when they finally arrive, we're truly grateful for the gift we've been given. Maybe it's true that we don't know what we've lost until we lose it, but it is also true that we don't know what is missing until it arrives. Maybe the happiest of people don't have the best of everything, but make the best of everything that comes their way. Maybe once in a lifetime, you find someone who not only touches your heart, but also your soul. Someone who loves you for who you are and not what you could be. Maybe the art of true love is not about finding the perfect person, but about seeing an imperfect person perfectly.
Chris, today you finally become my husband and I couldn't be any happier. Thank you for being my very best friend, my travel buddy, and most of all, thanks for always being on my side. The best teammate I could ask for, because that's what we are, an amazing team. I promise to share all that I have, though I do draw the line at Galaxy chocolate. I promise to always make sure there are baby bells in the fridge. I promise that when we are grey and old, we will look back on our lives together and will have no regrets. And finally, I promise to always be your teammate, on your side, and care for you always.
Becca, you make everything better. I don't remember what life was like without you in it, and I hope I'll never have to find out. Thanks for your kindness, patience, and being my best mate times 10. I promise to look after you, even if there's spiders. I promise to keep trying to make you laugh at every opportunity, no matter how inappropriate it might be. And I promise to love, support, and cherish you for as long as you'll let me.
I give you this ring as a sign of our love for and commitment to each other. I promise to support you, care for you, and stand alongside you for all of our days.
Okay. Okay, yeah. There you go. I give you this ring as a sign of our love for and commitment to each other. I promise to support you, care for you, and stand alongside you for all of our days. Hello everyone. Hello. On the group. Thank you all for coming. It really does mean a lot for us to share today with our closest friends and family. And Ned turned up too, so that's great. Richard, thank you for a great speech and your kind words. I'll never forget ringing you up just before Becca and I went on our Borneo holiday. Under the false pretense that I needed some advice about camera gear. I eventually steered the conversation towards asking you for your blessing. You paused and then simply said, "Well, it's about time." And then swiftly went back to talking about how I could borrow your flash gun. Becca's mum Julie, who I think we can all agree looks fabulous today. Points. My mum and dad, Anne and Big Rod. Thanks for absolutely everything. Love and support, always being on the phone. Even when you're half asleep and I'm cycling to work in the rain and you pretend to hear what I'm saying. The best men, Jake and Dale. You both look shit. Obviously, friendship and all that. But I would really like to thank you for the support during the engagement and continually asking Becca, "Are you sure?" Now, the reason we're all here, literally, my wife. Becca, you are everything. You're smart, funny, beautiful, appalling at singing, ridiculously early to everything. You even clap when the plane lands, but I wouldn't change you for the world. Now, we're the perfect team. You're incredibly organised and I'm not as much. Although I can be romantic, as Becca will agree, I'm sure. You probably don't believe me, so here's an example. For Valentine's Day, 1 year, I drove Becca down to our nearest B&Q to buy a nice new trowel, which I generously let her pay for. And we went back home to bury our recently deceased YouTube celebrity hamster, a field that shortly after was excavated to become a children's play park. If that's not romance, I'm not sure what is. But for now, can you please be upstanding for my beautiful wife, Becca? Who I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with. Cheers.
I'm Jake, and this is Dale, and we're the best men. We actually don't claim to be comedy magicians, really, but one thing we do have is a couple of twits up our sleeve. For the final time, for old time's sake, I feel it's our duty just to double check. Becca, are you really sure? You look absolutely beautiful, as everyone would agree. Since meeting you all those years ago, you've become one of our best friends, and we can't wait to help you manage Chris for the rest of your lives.
I'm going to give you an insight into the many different versions of our best pal Chris Kidd. The first alias we'd like to introduce you to is Chris Kidd, the Princess.
Let's be honest, the most important part of this whole wedding for Chris was his stag do. Chris got the fairy tale princess weekend of his dreams. 10 blokes, all to himself, in a castle. Strangers became friends, some friends became even better friends, and one man in particular became Sugar Bear.
Right, Sugar Bear! Sugar Bear! The second of Chris's many personalities is Chris Kidd, the show-off.
For someone with siblings, Chris gives off a very strong only child vibe. Chris will do anything to impress his mates just to get a cheap laugh. Chris spotted the opportunity to impress a drunk Ned at 2 AM after tripping over the vacuum cleaner in the hallway, proceeding to go into Anne and Roger's room and start vacuuming all around them while they were asleep. The next version of Chris we'd like to introduce you to is the super talented one. Always your grandparents' favourite friend, the young David Attenborough. For those that don't know, Chris works as a wildlife filmmaker and photographer at the BBC and has done some incredible work over the years. And if you didn't know this, then I really question if you've actually had a conversation with Chris.
Chris has even had the chance to meet his hero David Attenborough a couple of times now. One time at his house to pitch him a show, but more impressively, in an animated series where Chris voiced a lyrebird, a bird famous for their superb ability to mimic natural and artificial sound from their environment. Chris, are you able to give us a quick demonstration of maybe horse?
Maybe horse, yeah.
Zebra. Chainsaw? Finally, we'd like to introduce you to Chris, our best mate. And I can't emphasise this enough, Chris loves his mate.
Chris is incredibly inquisitive and excitable, but one of my favourite things about Chris is just how big his heart is and just how much he loves the people in his life. And I can say with the utmost confidence that he gets that from growing up at Ramsey Close.
And have you ever been to visit Chris if, like a grandparent, he doesn't greet you at the driveway on arrival and then wave you goodbye from the door in his dressing gown until you're fully out of sight? Chris, it's an absolute honour being up here with you on your big day.
We love you, big guy. We love you too, Beck. Can everyone please stand up and raise a glass to Chris and Becca? Cheers! Cheers!
Favorite.
Well, very good job.